Hi everyone. So my name's Robbie. Beneath the Tracksuit is my stage name, if you like. I started writing poetry to help deal with depression. I've got MS as well, so that sort of sucks too. So I started writing poetry to go with that, and it was all really emotional and really hard. But that's not who I am, so I wanted to start writing something a bit different, something that's a bit more to my personality. And then I came up with the whole idea of maybe I'd make a show called I Don't Like Poetry, or I Didn't Like Poetry. Because I didn't like poetry, I used to write poetry and say, yeah, I write it, but I don't like it. So yeah, I didn't like poetry. So what I'm going to read you is 5 poems from a show that I'm working on. 1 or 2 of them may be a bit of a trigger warning for some of you. It may make you cry a little bit. 1 or 2 of them may make you laugh a little bit. So I guess we'll go. And we'll see how it goes. Right, so the first one is called I Didn't Like Poetry. Growing up, I didn't like poetry. It's not that I hated it, it's not that I didn't respect it, but I thought what we were taught was rubbish. When I was 14, I should have been learning about poetry in my English class, but I was too busy having a laugh, or thinking about Britney's ass, or her other naughty bits, not listening to this old dragon chatting on about this poetry shit. The words she's speaking, it was boring. It resembled my old man at home on the couch, he'd be snoring. I'm a teenager. I'm more worried about my body transforming. I didn't like poetry. We're taught in school that it follows certain rules, and growing up for me, poetry, rules in school, it really wasn't cool. But did they teach us it all? Or was I just not listening? Did I miss the part where someone poured out the words from their heart, or laid out their beating soul about a monster taking control, or could I just not dissect the words like I can now? I didn't like poetry. Shakespeare and these other old folk wrote poetry in a language that I never spoke. I've got no qualms with this bloke, but seriously, his words were not for me. Maybe because he died in 1616, or I didn't understand his sonnet that lay before me 372 years after his death is the birth date of mine, and his words were relevant in his time. I didn't understand his rhythm, I didn't understand his rhyme, I didn't like poetry. 20 years later, I'm standing on stages, I'm filling up pages, I will listen, read and write this poetry shit for ages. I love the rhythm, I love the rhyme, exploring the unique imagination of someone's mind. What happened? Maybe when I was 14 I should have paid attention in my English class. I shouldn't have been having a laugh, or definitely not thinking about Britney's ass. Because I actually like poetry. Aww.